The views and opinions expressed on This Can't Be Adulting are solely those of the host and do not represent or reflect the views of any individual, organization, employer, or entity we may be affiliated with. The content of this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised. Yo, welcome to This Can't Be Adulting, the podcast where two guys who probably should have it all figured out absolutely don't.
Careers, money, relationships. No one handed us a manual, so we're figuring it out the only way we know how, with real talk, deep dives, and a whole lot of laughs.
I'm Herb.
And I'm Derek. And if you're out here wondering, am I doing this right? Trust us, you're not alone.
So hit play, relax, and let's figure this out together.
Oof. What up, though? What it do? How we doing?
What? That's how we coming in? Yo, welcome to
Coming in hot.
Can't Be Adult. I'm going to turn you down and get crazy.
Hey, you know, this is, well, when y'all see it, it ain't going to be live and in person, but like this is it. We had more technical issues the last episode, bro. We a hot mess, bro. Like,
all I got to just say,
what you got to say? You out here stuttering.
No, I was listening to this Kygo song. I think it's Kygo. It say, we'll look back on this and we'll laugh about these days. You know that song?
Yeah.
I feel like, we're gonna look back and we're gonna laugh about these days.
When we make it big, we'll make it big.
Exactly.
Get closer to the mic, bro.
Exactly.
So I know sometimes you be drifting. Drifting on that,
I
dog.
gotta come catch me where I'm at now.
Hey.
Catch me where I'm at. All right, let me lean up on y'all. Y'all can hear me now. Here we go.
Season 2, episode 11.
Man, we putting it through though.
This is our 33rd episode ever.
Bro, we on the way.
33rd episode.
I don't know what we on the way to, but we on the way.
I don't know we on the way to.
Hey,
yeah.
How many you got to do to get syndicated?
First of all, we would need to be picked up by Spotify or Apple or somebody to be paying us first to be syndicated. We syndicate ourselves if we want.
Apple, Spotify, what y'all waiting on?
Hey, come
Send
on,
the
man.
check.
Multi-million-dollar
Send the
deal
check.
here. Multi-million-dollar deal here, dog.
All righty. They know.
Well, how we been, bro?
We're doing it.
I've been struggling, bro.
You told me a little bit about what's going on. Maybe a couple weeks ago I was talking about my tea all low.
Yeah.
Maybe you tell me about what's going on.
Man,
over
the
here.
aches and pains of being a 40-year-old man. Even though you're a 40-year-old man yourself, man, but like, bro, everything hurts, dog. Like I just pulled my back on Sunday, giving my dog a bath. Just leaned over for too long, back pulled.
It is crazy. It wasn't like you're doing something crazy.
Nah, bro.
I've
been
this
chilling.
Is how I'm gonna throw my back out is.
Two of the last 3 weeks, I haven't gone to the gym at all, right? And still, I got more aches and pains, shoulders up in here, the knees, and then my back. Bro, it's just put me really down in the dumps, man. I'll be quite frank with you. I'm like, fuck, man, what the fuck happened to me, man? I'm fucking getting old.
I mean, that's the recovery part. Ain't the recovery.
No,
it's like you got to do something.
I got to do some active shit.
Yeah, man. That's what we got to tap in. You might need to get someone this tea. Get your tea right.
Hey, I have my annual physical here in 1 month, actually. Okay. About 4 weeks. So we'll talk about it because my tea has been low for a few years now. So I mean, I'm sure I could benefit from it. But I
like how we reference on this podcast. We just talk about your tea.
Yeah,
you got to get your tea right.
You got to get your tea right, dog.
Get your tea right. You check your tea.
Testosterone.
Get your tea right. And for the women out there, you might need to get your E right.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Do they lose estrogen as they get older?
I think that's what happened when they go. Man,
hey, chill. Hey, watch what you say, man.
I think that's what happened with menopause. The whole something happens with the E. Ladies? And that's what called.
Want to chime in, ladies? Clearly, we have no fucking idea.
Some of these experts over here.
Hey, for entertainment purposes only. All right, like the disclaimer says at the beginning.
All right, ladies, just please educate us. Make sure get us right in the comments. So yeah, menopause got something to do with the E.
Yeah, something to do with the E.
Something with the E.
Apparently,
I'm assuming the E get low. And
I legit don't know if that's how it works, bro.
Again, I'm just speculating here.
You are 100%
speculating. I think the E get low. Now, the one thing I will say that I did learn about menopause not that long ago was that I thought this was something that happened over the course of like 6 months. Bro, this has been going on for years.
Oh, really?
That's the same thing I told my cousins.
I say really, like I knew it wasn't 6 months. I didn't know how long it went on for, but I knew it was like a lengthy process.
Some of my cousins were talking about they've had it for 4 or 5 years. I was like, wait a second. Brutal. You go into menopause for years? No way I could be a woman. To women out there, y'all are way stronger, braver, whatever word you want to use. Insert.
Yeah,
that is.
And it was just Mother's Day, so shout out to all y'all moms out there. You know
happy Mother's Day.
Happy belated Mother's Day if we have any moms listening, which I think we do.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Got a whole bunch of single chicks out here.
We trying to appeal.
Parentless. That's what's wrong with America right now that they was talking about. A whole lot of parentless citizens out here. That's what's wrong. Our podcast is the reason. Okay.
It's the reason we're the driving factor.
We the driving factor.
I mean, we do advertise our podcast, especially on the grants, as two unmarried, no childless 40-year-old men.
We ain't got no kids.
No kids, except for my fur baby, and our fur babies we talked about a few episodes ago.
You're right.
It is what it is. But all right, interesting episode that we got here today. I feel like I say that every time. They're all interesting.
This is, I would say, a little bit different off topic.
It's a little bit different. Herb and I were discussing earlier this week about what we're going to talk about. He wanted to talk about, he brought up a topic, and I said, well, that feels like that we can cover that topic under this topic that we're talking about. Spoiler alert. We want to talk about gambling today and just the concept of gambling.
Yep.
And we had a little bit of disagreements because Herb thought that he wants to do addiction at some point, which we'll do, but he's talking more about substance abuse.
Yes.
And he said that they're two a little bit different. I disagree. I think gambling and substance abuse are essentially the same thing with respects to what it does to your brain, with respects to how it really ruins your fucking life, with respects to the impulse that you can't control from going out and doing each.
Yes.
But with that said, I was like, you know what? That's a good way we can talk about that today. We can just segue into that. And we can always make 2 episodes out of everything. Like gambling, we can always talk about this shit. We always end up talking for over an hour if we want to about any single topic.
Yeah, it don't matter what it is. Like we talking about, I was gonna say space, but that's not even a good thing because we do talk about space a lot.
We do talk about space.
We can talk about being parents for over an hour, and neither one of us are parents. We can talk about that. So, but no, the reason I was saying that there was a difference between a gambling addiction and then a substance abuse addiction is that I think the fundamental of the gambling, and it's also a couple other addictions I'll tie into that as well, is that substance abuse has a direct harm on your health. Like you have a direct harm on your health, where gambling, it can have a mental harm on your health, but it's not going to have a direct, like you're not going to overdose on gambling. I'll throw this in here as well. We didn't even speak of this, like sexual addiction. You're not going to overdose on sex. And that's why I was saying, let's do a difference between.
You can hurt yourself
by
doing too much sex.
But nobody's ever OD'd on sex.
Yeah, you could definitely die on sex, because if you get too extreme with some of the things you like with your sex, you can actually die on that.
Sexual act. It's not if you were just
but that's not what sex addiction is. Isn't just the physical act of intercourse. That's not what it is. It isn't just that. But that's my point.
But it falls under that.
But my point is that people have died from doing some sort of sexual acts in some way. Maybe you don't think, like asphyxiation. Like you remember the dude Kill Bill?
Yeah.
Kill Bill?
Yes.
Like the actual Bill?
Yeah.
He had a sexual addiction, and he used to like to asphyxiate himself.
Agreed.
And that's how he died.
But that's not,
because
you didn't die
sex
because
addict.
of sex. You died because you
Well, he was having sex at the same time, too.
Agreed,
like that was part of it. They went hand in hand.
Sexual act. You didn't.
I know what you're saying, but I disagree. It's all under the same thing.
I don't think so. That's why
I definitely do think it is.
I feel like you can't. Let's say if you were just a normal missionary, I'm gonna do sex I'm doing just straight missionary sex, and I go out. It doesn't matter how much missionary sex you have, you're not gonna OD on that. Now, if you want to bring other aspects other kinks into your sexual thing, same thing with gambling.
But they also fall under sexual addiction, is what I'm saying. So
yes, but I'm saying that's why I
lay out sexual addiction.
Agree.
Maybe there are lanes under the sexual addiction umbrella.
But that was me like explaining why
that makes
put
sense.
them under different categories, like sex addicts differently than and gambling addicts are different than substance abuse addicts. And that's what
you're just talking about what it can physically do to your body. Like if you have a substance abuse, people OD. Yeah. Is what you're saying. And you're saying that no one's going to OD from the gambling.
You can't see when somebody, you can't look at the person like, oh, you're abusing gambling right now. Like you're high on gambling. Or you're high on sex. Like nobody, and that's why I was saying there's a difference between those two.
I got you. I see what you're saying. I think for me, it's more about, I'm thinking more about how it ruins your mind, ruins your life rather. Absolutely. How it can ruin your life.
Absolutely.
How it can, how it taps on your impulses and the idea that the fact that you don't have any control. I was kind of speaking more to that, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah. But regardless, we'll talk about substance abuse in another episode.
There we go. Let's get back to gambling.
We really want to talk about the whole gambling situation.
Let's go.
Right? And kind of, I would like to touch on if we have a relationship with gambling in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when and if that relationship is existing. When did that start?
Yeah.
How did you kind of learn about that shit? So
I can jump this off.
let's jump it off then.
Now, your boy over here come from a family of gamblers. We get it. We gamble. We get together. We play card games.
All right, so I guess elaborate. What's your idea of gambling then?
Anytime we're making wagers of money, it has to be money. That's when we're talking about gambling.
You're talking about money.
Or it could be some type of wager or something
Material,
tangible. Something tangible. Something tangible. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about, like gambling. So when our family gets together, like we gamble. Like we play cards. We play a game that we know for quarters. You can play it for quarters, but if you want to get big, you can play it for $5 a hand, $1 a hand. If you get back in the day when you're getting crazy, you play it for $20 a hand, and a hand might last a minute, 2 minutes. So you talk about like $20. You can go through it real quickly.
Yeah.
That said, and then the men, we shoot dice. Like if you come to the South, you come to where we shooting dice. The boys, we shoot dice. And I'm talking about growing up. Like I remember one of the first jobs I had was at KFC, and I got my first check. It was on a Friday. It was $300. Had worked 2 weeks, got $300.
That's big boy money back then. That's big boy money back then.
I was 16.
Yeah,
I was
big boy money back then.
I was 16.
You was balling, bro.
What? $300 back then, bro.
You was wilding, bro.
01. I was about to turn up. We went up to my cousin's house. I had just cashed a check, had my $300 in my little pocket. They was shooting a little dice. Bro, in an hour, I lost my whole check. My whole check, guys. I'm talking about all 300. Not a dollar left. They didn't leave me $5. And I'm shooting with my cousins. None of that.
No,
bro.
and no mercy either.
Walking out of that house and walking to my house and being with my other cousins. We both had lost all our money. And I remember thinking to myself, like, bro, how dumb? Like, how dumb can you be to go and gamble all of this away, and you work 2 weeks and you have nothing to show for it, right? There was nothing.
Wild,
and I have to figure out how I'm going to tell my mom that I done lost I lost my check.
Shit.
And sure enough, that was like growing up, like, and that
was that a lesson for you? Was
Hell
that day
bro.
a lesson? It wasn't.
No, not at all, bro. That just mean I got to win next
See,
time.
you went back
Don't
2 weeks
lose.
later, dog.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm still gonna shoot dice when I go home. We shooting them things. So,
I'm
yeah,
not saying that
up.
you don't shoot dice. I'm not saying that. But did you learn somewhat of a lesson at all?
No.
Because you were so young, probably? Because that's a very formidable... Because
I think the way I was taught was almost taught. Like when you taught growing up where I was from, like shooting dice, you shoot to either you break the game or you get broke. There was no, I'm about to get up and leave. Like you can't do that.
But has that translated into your adult life is what I'm saying. Because back then, you didn't really have nothing to lose, really. Like, you had $300, but, like, you had a roof over your head. Like, you was going to school. Like, you weren't really losing nothing.
No, I've
you know
never
what I'm saying?
had that type of situation.
But that's what I mean. Like, as an adult, do you think of that time and those times and be like,
no, I think that I don't have to think about that time. It's just more so a thing. I mean, that's one of the times that pop in my head. Like I can lose it all. It don't take that long. More so, but that wasn't the last time I've ever like lost a check or lost big gambling fast like that. I mean, I think as I gotten older, I just learned like, nah, bro, I don't gamble at that level. Like I won't gamble that much. I wouldn't gamble a whole check or anything like that away. Like I can be a lot more disciplined in my gambling and walk away. But I got a lot of family members that can't.
They can't.
They'll lose the whole check.
And they losing their whole check every week, gambling with family and gambling with friends in the neighborhood. Yes. We're not necessarily talking about going to casinos or sports betting.
We're talking about
that's an issue. That's a problem.
Ball field, bro.
Yeah,
like, in the dirt, shooting dice in the dirt on the concrete. Put a towel down. Like
that's
who got
crazy.
a towel and shoot the dice
and
you can lose your whole check to your family member. And y'all both work beside each other all week, and he gonna take your whole $1,200 check, $1,500 check, $2,500 check, in a matter of.
All right, so I got a couple of things. This is interesting because I'm caught in a bit of a conundrum because the angle that I wanted to take, and the reason why this conversation sparked up with me and Herb about why this should be a topic was, I fucking hate gambling. Mm-hmm. And I don't necessarily mean. Okay, let me rephrase that. I hate institutions that promote, not even promote, but that's their livelihood. Their gambling institute, aka casinos, aka Vegas, aka all the sports betting, FanDuel, draft. I fucking hate them all.
Yeah.
With that said, it's not that I believe gambling should be illegal. That's not what I'm saying. However, I find it so predatory that we have these massive companies that their entire existence is based off of stealing your money. Period, point blank. That just stealing money. Not I'm offering you a good. Mm-hmm. I'm offering you a product and I'm marketing and saying you need more of this laptop. You need more of this. No. Come give me your money. just give me your money. You might have a chance to win.
There we go.
You might have a chance to win. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When the reality is that your chances are not in your favor.
Bro. Vegas ain't.
I have a problem with that. But that's not what you're talking about and how you learn. It's not no big predatory company.
No.
It's just the homies being homies.
Yeah,
it's just the people growing up being growing up.
We didn't learn gambling at a casino.
Right,
no.
right.
I don't think a lot of people, I would say, learned gambling was not at a casino. They learned probably with family members. And then it eventually evolved into going to a casino once you got of age. But like for the most part, you know what I mean? You guys think about it, at a young age, you can't even go to a casino.
Yeah.
So you're not even allowed to. So a lot of times you are learning these things, in your own neighborhood, in your own community. And then from there you go. Because then I remember like going to my first casino because the games that how we shoot dice at home is completely different
Give them a lesson.
to how you shoot craps in a casino. Same games.
Different
for the most part,
a little bit,
but it's a few different rules here and there with shooting dice and then shooting craps at a casino. So that's things I had to learn that. Like going into a casino is not the same. So it's like that was different. But like as far as like just gambling and like getting addicted and seeing people that I know that are addicts, they ain't addicts to the casinos. They're addicts to like at home.
Here, and I haven't done my necessarily research on this, but there's obviously a human psychology to all this. And I believe it comes down to, as human beings, there's a huge part of our brain that assesses risk versus reward.
Yes.
And there's also the adrenaline junkies.
Oh my God.
There's a lot of that's interplay.
The dopamine hits and all
the dopamine hits of high risk, high reward. Low risk, low reward. I'm not going to do it. So there's this aspect of having a better reward. And so, and again, this is just me spitballing off the top of my head. Back when we were living in the Serengeti, when we were doing all that, that was very massive consideration to take when it came to finding food, when it came to finding mates, when it came to, all right, I know there's food across this river, but there's crocodiles across this river. Mm-hmm. How hungry are we?
Yeah.
How much do we really need to eat?
Yeah. How likely are we to get
across this river? How likely are we? Yeah. And so there was a lot of that. And I guess, again, this comes down to we live in a world now where corporations and businesses have all the money in the world to exploit those parts of our brains, exploit them more than we can even understand, manipulate it more than we can even understand. And I think to me, that's what bothers me more is that we've given, in the name of capitalism, we give these companies that ability, and then they tell us they create this narrative, they create this what's the word I'm looking for? This myth, this illusion, this myth. Not just that you'll win. It's not even about that, but that this is a you problem. This isn't an us problem. We're not doing anything wrong. You have personal agency. You have all that. And I'm not saying that we don't. And I'm not saying that we don't all personally have a responsibility to make the decisions that we make. But what I'm saying is that I think too often we let these corporations off the hook and we go, oh, it's just capitalism. They're not putting a gun to your head. And it's like, bro, that's not the right way to look at it. We need to understand how much manipulation and influence they really do have over our little minds. We have little minds that are easily exploited, and we have all the resources, all the money in the world. Bro, like, it's hard. It's hard. We up against this. I'll pause there.
Well, I feel like, that's not just gambling. That's alcohol. 100%. That's food.
100%.
It's everything in our life. We're kind of being. It's up to us to understand, like, to protect yourself from the manipulation.
See that.
And I know what you're
that's
saying.
What you just said. Like, what my beef is. You just said it's up to us.
Yeah. No. I'm saying it is up to the individual. Sorry, to protect yourself from the.
There's a responsibility.
Yes, there is a responsibility. My issue with gambling and the casinos and the whole government aspect of it is that, okay, you set up what the rules are. I come to your establishment. I play by the rules, and then you can say, "No, I don't want to pay you that." Now that's the issue
that pisses
I have
me off too, 100%.
right there. Like, wait, you already rigged the game.
Yeah.
But if I come in with an edge, and then I'm not breaking the rules, I'm not cheating, but I got an edge. All of a sudden, no, that's not allowed, and I don't have to pay you. That right there is where my
what's
issues
good
lie.
for me, but not for thee.
There we go.
That's some
bullshit.
bullshit.
We let them get away with that because they
them.
lobby it. And that's what I hate, whether
Facts.
that's gambling, whether that's cigarettes, whether that's corporations that's doing this lobbying.
Facts.
Where they can go in and lobby and have the rules set up to where they always win. It ain't even that you. It's one thing is like, all right, we're gonna wager. You're more likely to win and I'm more likely to win. However, I understand that's what the game is getting started, but it can't be like, oh, but you also get to decide that if you lose, like, no, you don't want to have to pay me. That is not cool. And that's where my issue lies with corporations and, you know, the government when it comes to gambling.
I agree with you. I also think that goes hand in hand with kind of my point too. I think they go very much hand in hand, but 1,000%, particularly around these sports betting.
They don't have to pay you.
FanDuel, DraftKings. I've watched a couple of documentaries, mini docuseries, like Investigative Journal, and some dudes are like, "Yo, bro, I won this shit. Like, I did this. I played by the rules, and they don't want to give me my fucking money.
Oh,
and they don't want to give me my fucking money.
You can use AI to set the spread, but I can't use the AI to beat the spread.
Yeah.
Now I'm cheating, and it's like, no, that's crazy.
It's fucking crazy. And again, this is my whole point with why I fucking hate all these fucking companies, because yes, not only is it what I just said, where it's this manipulation to come here. Like, I was just in Vegas in September for a work conference. Mm-hmm. Beautiful city, but I fucking hate that city, bro. Like, I could just see the life that it's taken from people, bro. Yo, I was waking up at 5:30 in the morning to go to the gym and to get ready. Motherfuckers was showing up from the club at the fucking craps table,
the
bro.
best time to gamble, baby.
Bro,
when I'm drunk and fucked up and everything. That's the time to go and gamble.
And then they manipulate the entire
Absolutely.
setting. Oh, free
Pumping
drinks,
oxygen
free
in
drinks.
there.
They just
Free
want to get
drinks,
you
all
drunker.
that.
There's no fucking windows in there so that you don't know what
you
time
need
of
a
day it
room?
is.
Yeah, stay here. We'll give you
Rooms
a room.
are cheap as shit because they're like, yo,
Yes.
we'll give you a room for $20 a night. Just come
And if
gamble
you
here.
win, we'll give you entertainment.
Yeah.
Just you got to stay tomorrow and come back down.
Yeah, bro. It's an ugly world that we live in, and again, it just bothers me that everything is hidden under this myth, this legend that like this isn't our fault.
Yeah.
This is you're the one making the decision, and I'm like, hold on, let's take a step here. Yes, I have a responsibility, 1,000%. I'm not trying to take that away, but let's stop acting like you're not sharing in the fucked upness. I'm not even a word. How fucked up this all is. Like you're not actively stealing money. And to your point, and you're stealing money because you're also not only odds against me when it really comes down for me to actually win something. Oh, there's got to be a massive investigation. There's cameras watching me, spying me everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you make a move here? Did you make a move there?
Yeah.
It's some crazy shit, bro.
Or the fact that I can bet all of my, as long as I'm losing, I can bet everything. The second I start winning, now I got to slow you down, cap how much you bet. See limit how much you get to play on a specific day. But when I'm losing everything, you ain't never like, hey, stop. You can't lose no more. You're never like, no, we're not gonna let you lose no more. No, we're not gonna let you do that. No, we're not gonna do that. But we're gonna stop you how much you win. And that's the issue I have when it comes to like the whole gambling thing. But as far as like, I guess like myself and like just growing up, I guess, did you not have any of those, getting back to like you didn't have growing up in the Northeast? I don't know. I feel like
Never did anything. We have casinos
like the
up there.
Bookies and all that stuff came from the numbers.
Foxwoods casinos up there, but like I was never
like
a
the
gambling
mafia
man.
back then.
Yeah, but it was never a part of my life, and it was never part of my parents' life. I don't necessarily like gambling, and I'm so thankful that I don't. Like I went to Vegas. I've been to Vegas twice. One to party. That was 12 years ago, and I've told you guys this story. We talked about it in my last episode. And I fucking spent $7,000 out there. $300 of that was gambling.
Yep, I
The rest of it, like I wasn't
with you on that, bro.
And it was, I got home from the club at 4:30 a.m. drunk as fuck, back to my casino. I went to the blackjack table and I was like, let's go. And then I took out $300 and I lost that shit in 30 minutes. And I was like,
not doing it again.
Go home. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. But you can almost feel the saliva, like drooling to keep going.
Yeah,
like drooling.
I want to get my money back,
bro. I was like, yo, this shit's crazy. And thankfully, I had some. Anyways, we were talking about like the growing up, like it was never really a thing. And that's why I've never gotten into sports betting either. And I'm not saying that I haven't like put bets here and there once in a while, you know what I mean? Like with friends, blah, blah. But like even my bets thing, like I like my sports teams too much to do that. I bet a couple of times. Every time I bet on my sport, we lose every time.
That's part
so
of
I'm like,
See,
now I'm talking about, I'm not
a real gambler. You bet against your team, and that way you win no matter what.
And
You either
that's
win
the other
money
thing.
or you win it.
That's why I stopped doing fantasy football.
That's
a level of betting right there too.
Yeah,
that's a level of betting because I'm like, how am I going to pick up fucking Patrick Mahomes as my quarterback and the Patriots are playing Kansas City Chiefs and now I'm cheering for Patrick, but against him because I was like,
play good but lose.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense to me. So I was like, I'm not doing this shit no more. It's just they got everybody fucking going crazy. I know I'm going off on a tangent there. We're talking about like, I just don't remember a time where sports or not just betting, gambling in general was like a big thing for me growing up. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah,
like I'm very thankful for that because I'm a 0 to 100 guy. You know that.
Yeah, that's how I learned how to gamble, was 0 to 100. Whether that's cards, dice. But we even just remember we would grow up gambling on like anything. We would do quarters. I don't know if you ever tossed quarters before. We done quarters. We also done flip quarters. Like it was just something that I don't know.
It's
just
deep
like
within the human.
That adrenaline you get from like standing
condition.
at that table and you just got them things and going on a hot run. Oh man, nothing feels better. But losing also is just,
it sucks. And I kind of want to dive into the psychology thing because I think it pushes it runs parallel to a lot of how we react to other ways. Like you've heard me say this before on this podcast. Like people, especially nowadays, people hate being wrong. People want to be right so much.
Yeah.
And I think that also plays a little bit into betting. Like whatever you're betting, maybe betting, gambling, I'm kind of using them interchangeably. But like you bet, like I do remember as a kid always saying, all right, actually, you know what? Let me take that. I do remember as a kid always being like, oh, I bet this is going to happen. Oh, you want to bet? How much you want to bet? $5. Like, yeah, I would do some shit like that. Yeah. Like, oh, I bet. With little shit. Not anything big, but like.
That's Couchy now.
I bet, yeah. I was going to have a whole segment here on Couchy. Fucking demon company, bro.
That's what they've done now. They've made it to where you could bet all of that.
Yeah, if y'all don't know who Couchy is, bro, but it's not demon shit.
Under the guise of prediction.
It's called market prediction market. Kalshi is a federally regulated prediction market exchange that allows users to trade contracts on the outcomes of events such as elections, economics, weather, and sports rather than betting against a casino.
Yep.
That's crazy.
So just a contract between you and I. Now, what we're wagering, we are wagering money and it's literally a bet, but at the end of the day, they're saying, no, it's just a contract.
I can't fathom how we all sit there and let me not say I can't fathom.
We didn't vote on this.
We didn't vote on it, but there's a market for it. Yeah, that's the problem.
Absolutely. There's a market there.
People love Kalshi. Yo, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the one fucking promoting this shit. I'm like, Giannis, bro. Again, all about money, bro. And so if there's a market for it, they go for it. Doesn't matter if they're pressing on your deepest fears, your deepest concerns, your deepest addictions. They don't give a fuck. And the thing that's more scary about this is that motherfuckers are betting on this for like wars. Like motherfuckers are betting on the Iran war. Yes, they're like, hey, this shit's gonna happen on this day. Like, yo, what are we even talking about? And people got money on this.
Yeah, but even going back to that, to reason why I hate these type of prediction market thing like that is the bullshit they pull is the same thing happened. They made the bet on the Venezuela. Somebody made the bet on the guy being ousted, and they were saying because he didn't get. No, he died, or one of the guys got killed. Oh, sorry, the Ayatollah. No, they were saying he wasn't overthrown; he got killed. So that's not saying that he was going to get out, and they didn't pay that. And that's where I like, again, going back to the whole. I'm okay with the industry. I'm not okay with the industry practices that they able to get away with that.
I can't get on board with that, bro. I'm not okay with the industry at all. And let me be clear. I think the industry should now be treated like tobacco companies. Yeah. You don't see advertisements of tobacco companies anymore for smoking cigarettes. Yeah. People can still do it. Yeah. You can still go buy a cigarette.
But do you think that falls into my whole where I kind of separated the addictions difference between substance abuse and gambling addictions, where they're like, okay, tobacco is a product that's gonna actually harm you or directly harm you, where they feel like, oh, gambling, that we don't see a way that's gonna harm you directly, so you can still promote that? You think that's what
possibly no, but the upheaval against tobacco happened at a time when people were more amenable to it. Yeah, where capitalism was a little bit more controlled. Yeah, we're talking about the 70s, 80s, 90s. There was big campaigns to say, big tobacco, you need to chill. We're in 2026. Capitalism is its fullest swing. If you can make money out of nowhere, these billionaires don't give a fuck. They've already infiltrated politics. So I think it's more that than it is this can physically harm you. But that's how I think it should be treated. I'm not asking to outlaw things, like, because that's more of a dictatorship type of thing. Be like, we got to outlaw. I would like it to, but I know that's not realistic. So, yeah, we can still have casinos, but I don't think you should advertise it as much. I think if when and if you do, paper ads, billboards say, hey, this, like, in loud and clear font, like, yo, we will fuck up your life. We will. I don't know, some shit like that. It's never gonna happen.
Do that on the end of the thing, like gambling. Make sure you gamble responsibly. If you do have a gambling addiction,
but it's always all up in your face, and they treat it like it's so cool. Like I see all these Choctaw Casino type shit. But again, going back to what you were saying, you were like, I don't have a problem with all this. You mean to tell me you don't have a problem with motherfuckers betting on whether or not we're gonna go to war with somebody or we're gonna go kill somebody? You don't have an issue with that?
No.
Bro, what is wrong with you, dog?
What influence do I like? Why?
Because we're supporting it because there's a demand for it. Yes, we are.
I'm not here.
There's a demand for it.
I think that on the basis of it, I don't care. Now, if you have an influence over that,
how do you not care though?
Because
there's two people. Why are we gamifying?
I don't want to control.
Why are we gamifying it?
We're not gamifying.
This is we're gamifying everything. We have an app. We have a company that's allowing people to do this contract. What would be the difference
if we didn't have the company and two people said
there would be a massive difference? I'm not saying it still wouldn't happen, but it would be massively reduced. I'm never talking about perfection. I'm not saying any of this is going to go away completely.
But do you feel like that caused the war?
Do I feel like that caused the war? Yeah. I think it had some influence, absolutely, because now Trump and all these motherfuckers see it. All of them, 100%, bro. People are making money off of it, bro.
No, I'm not saying that might make money off
the administration.
No, I'm saying they can bet the right side.
The administration.
Bet the right side because they have the insider information.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and they got influence.
Now, I'm saying that's where I would disagree. If there is influence on these events, then absolutely, because that turns into like insider trading, where the same thing, like if a Tom Brady knows something going on in the Oakland or in the Las Vegas Raiders organization and he makes a bet on it, then that's illegal. You can't do that. I think those things should be regulated.
I'm talking about the humanity of it all, Herb.
But I'm saying like there's nothing inhumane about it.
You're more concerned about like the legality of the ins and outs as opposed to being like you're opening up a whole fucking industry, a whole app for people all around the world to say, I want these people to get killed. I want to know, I'm going to bet on the Palestinian people getting killed. You keep doing this whole good versus bad. The world is strictly going to be 50% bad.
No,
dude.
Not at all. I'm just more so of the influence, like me making a bet on who's gonna die in a war has no influence on it.
Oh my God, bro!
It doesn't.
But it has influence on the world. It shows who we are as humanity, how far we come to when we allow this to be a norm, where people are openly betting on who's gonna get killed here and there. Whether you have influence or not, that's fucking insane. Like we're talking about betting on, and I don't know if this happened because I think Kalshi came out shortly after, but I'm sure we're betting on like how many Palestinian kids are gonna get killed. And we're like, yo, bro,
I think that bet is grotesque. I think that's a grotesque bet, and I think those are grotesque. That's a grotesque bet when you start betting on lives. I can agree with that there, but to say the whole
but that's not going to end.
It's wrong. They can regulate that.
Yeah. Are they going to regulate that?
I would hope so.
Come on, bro. But
no, I'm not saying they should regulate that. If they don't, then they are wrong.
This is the conversation you and I always have. This is our issue with you and I with AI. You go, they could, they should. Oh, how do I know a good AI isn't going to come up with a bad AI? Like, what are we even talking about, Herb? What are we talking about? We know what's wrong.
Yes.
We know what's wrong. Like, we know what's wrong. We know it's wrong to bet on people dying. Well, you know it's wrong to bet on people dying. What do you mean? Like you have this inevitability.
Wrong in what? I guess immoral, nasty, ugly. Yes. Wrong. I don't know what wrong means. Like I guess I'm going
nasty,
illegal.
Ugly, not wrong. Is immoral, nasty, ugly not wrong?
It could be wrong, but it don't mean it's illegal. I guess it's going on legality out there. Yeah.
You're just talking about legality, bro. Like where is like.
I guess I'm struggling on the influence of me making a bet on something as gross and disturbing as it is.
I'll tell you what it is. The influence is when there's a market for it, when you normalize this, when you normalize society to bet on these things, and now there's money involved, and now people up top who do have influence, who do have power, see this, and they see the way that the market's open, they go, oh, there's a bunch of people betting money on this. I have some influence over this. It's inevitably going to cause corruption because you're normalizing all of this. Now you're normalizing. People want, if I do this bet, if I allow as a person of influence, if I push this bet in a certain way, or not push this bet, push this action to happen in a certain way, that means a certain amount of people are going to kill because this person can make a lot of money with no remorse to life. Like that's a problem, and that's what we're allowing to happen by normalizing the betting of lives, of war.
I don't say that's
of all of this. That is normalizing it over a grand scale.
I will say this: if they say Kalshi, I would love to see what the percentage is on on like humanity bets is compared to what all the other bets that they're receiving. Because I agree with you, like making bets on people dying is wrong, but are we talking about is that the exception or is that the rule on these poly markets, on these sports prediction markets? Like
and I'm sure that the majority of bets aren't that. That's not
Right.
what I'm claiming. But for the fact that can even be a bet on a market like this,
If they
on
regulate
on a
out that-
worldwide, you
Yeah.
keep saying as if we have
I'm
any
just asking
trust
if they-
of the people
I'm not
that are
saying
regulating
that.
this.
I mean,
We don't have trust. They don't want what's best
Agreed.
for us.
No,
They
absolutely
don't.
not.
None.
No, not at all.
How do you not hear this and go, yo, that's fucking gross? Like the fact that
I agree.
we're
it's gross,
normalizing
but
it
if
and
they-
throw it out
I'm not
there.
saying normalize it either.
It is normalized though by
feel
doing
like it's
that.
normalized.
100%.
That's
You
not
throwing out a betting app that's a legit app. It's a legit app.
Yes.
You're normalizing it.
I don't think that's
You're
normalizing.
normalizing 100%. It's a
I don't think
legit
that's-
app because people think like you and they go, oh, but it's legal, so I'm not doing anything
I don't
wrong.
think just because
It's
something's legal
to
doesn't
bet.
mean it's not normalized. It's normalized.
Well,
Like, there's a
100%
lot of
it's
things that are
normalized.
legal, but that's not normalized. Like you can look at.
But
There's
that
tons
is
of things.
that's a level of normalization when
Yes,
you
that is
legalize things.
Yes, that
is a
step.
level of
That is-
normalization.
That agree because it's
Like 100%.
It allows for it.
Slavery
But if
slavery was legal.
which is
that
wrong.
was normalization.
Which was wrong, and I'm willing to admit that's wrong and gross.
But you're saying that you don't think just because something is legal, it's not normalized.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's not what I'm trying to say. Well, I guess what I'm trying to say is that like if they are regulating that, because I don't know if they do regulate those types of things, would it be okay then? Like if we take that one negativity out of it, would you be okay?
But it would be several other things. You would have to take But I get what you're saying. Maybe it's not just how many people are going to die, but like, are we going to go to war with this motherfucker? Like, I don't think any of that should be legally allowed on any
if we
sort
remove
of
the
poly market app.
if we
it's
remove
not
the
political.
war-
It's not about political.
I'm saying,
Like, I'm talking about war is war.
Yeah,
War
if
is
we-
death.
If we
War is all
remove
that.
the war aspect, the death aspect of it away from it, would that be okay then?
Would the app be okay? I mean,
Yeah.
it would be the same at that point as FanDuel and DraftKings. I still don't like them. I don't agree with them. I don't want them to be around. But like, that's not what we're talking about today because that stuff is allowed on Kalshi today.
Yeah.
You're talking about a world that's amorphous, that is not amorphous, that's not even around right now. And this idea that we're going to have faith that anyone's going to regulate, especially this day and age, it's not going to get regulated anytime soon in this day and age. Not at all, bro.
I don't think so.
Not at all.
We've seen. I think that's a big push is to have regulations around technology, and I think we still see that because there are technologies that came. I mean, even if you look at the social media aspect of it, and which is a little bit different, from country to country, but you starting to see regulations put onto social media. I know that's outside the United States, but like you're starting to see
more progressive than
regulations
us.
putting out. You don't want to be no progressive here, but you see people putting these regulations out on some of these technologies, and I think that'll still continue to exist. Where I feel like the prediction market is something that, if it's a demand for it and somebody's willing to make the supply, and if it's not, like I say, it isn't something that's, if you're not preying on children, if you're marketing to adults, which I'm not saying they always do, but if you market to adults, then I don't see the issue with it.
Yeah, a lot of these though are marketing to young men
Yes.
at the age of like 15, 16, trying to get them primed up for when they're 18. Like that's what it is. So they are actually marketing to a lot of these young children, specifically young men. That is like
Absolutely.
statistically proven.
I mean, everybody's marketing to young men.
You know what I mean?
Coke's marketing to young men. Toyota's marketing to young men.
Yeah, but
I know we're talking about two different things. What are we going to have marketing to them? But I'm just saying, like everything.
Coke, Toyota. I mean, I guess you're saying those are just men things.
No, I'm just saying like everybody's marketing to the youth.
I'm talking about specifically, yes, to young men. Yeah, but those aren't freaking lose all your money in gambling type of a scenario. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Coke isn't the healthiest thing for kids.
Absolutely, but it's not the same as gambling.
Why not?
It's not the same as gambling.
But why not though? I guess
when has Coke ruined lives? When has Coke completely ruined lives?
When you become diabetic and you got,
for the very few that drink Coke and only Coke. Fair enough. But what are the numbers of that compared to people who get their lives ruined by gambling?
I would say the Coke issue is way higher. Like sugar diabetic.
Come on, bro.
You don't think that processed
not
foods
just Coke,
is higher?
not just Coke, but it's not from someone just drinking Coke. Very few. Those numbers are very few in between.
And
you know what? To be honest with you,
I would say nobody. But that would be also. I would say that comes from an unhealthy relationship with food, and then you can have an unhealthy relationship with gambling. I don't think that would be like saying like if you only gambled on the Patriots and you lose all your money. Like nobody's ever just gambled. Like that would be like me saying like, no, nobody's ever just gambled all their money on one specific thing, and that's the issue. And you're lumping all gambling into it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like unhealthy relationship with anything, but they're still marketing to it. Like we're still marketing to the youth. So what?
You're doing apple and oranges now. You're really trying to convince me that marketing gambling companies, FanDuel, DraftKings, Kalshi, that marketing to kids is the same exact potential risk or potential harm as Coca-Cola marketing to kids. You're really wanting me to believe that?
Absolutely. I would say Coke is worse marketing because we give into.
So you're more at arms. You're more pissed with Coke than you are with these
absolutely
betting companies.
More people are affected by Coke than these potty markets.
I 100% disagree.
If it was up to Derek,
yes,
would Kalshi exist? If it was up to Derek, would Kalshi be a profitable company? If they just only marketed to Derek, if it was just a Derek,
no,
exactly.
They wouldn't be.
Same thing with Coke. Like they're not gonna be a profitable company if it doesn't matter if they exist, because if they're not marketing to somebody that wants to but
we're just going to disagree because you're talking about they're causing the same harm, and I disagree. You think they are?
Absolutely.
I disagree. You actually think Coke is more.
Way more youth.
He's more pissed at Coca-Cola, which they're a terrible company. Don't get me wrong. It's not that I'm happy with that, but you think they need to be more regulated than the gambling markets?
Yes,
that's what you think.
Yeah, yeah. Why would it not? Who's been more? How many unhealthy youth gamblers do you know compared to unhealthy? But
you're attributing all unhealthiness to Coke. That's not true.
No, I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying to Coke specifically, but I'm talking about to like, let's just say sugar.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. And then yes, I would contribute.
But there is
sugar has a much.
But there is no
harmful,
sugar. There's no sugar company on its own, standing alone, that's marketing to kids right now. No, sugar's in a bunch of different companies.
But there is an overarching lobbyist that is lobbying for sugar, and to ensure that we still have that is not.
That'd be interesting to know. I don't even know if sugar needs lobbying.
Where they tried to implement the Coke tax and the oh God, what do you call them? Like fountain drinks tax and limit and regulate that, and people are like, hell no, you can't do that. But it's the impact is way more harmful than
I agree. I think sugar and all that Coke 100%. But I think this notion that we're talking about what has more direct and immediate harm and impact on someone's life is going to be gambling, more immediate impact. 100%.
I think less people gamble
than drink Coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I could be considered a Coke drinker, and I drink Coke twice a year.
And I can be considered. I wouldn't be. I can make a few bets whether what is on, and I wouldn't consider myself like a gamble addict, and it's not.
Well, it's not even about being a gamble addict. You don't have to be a gamble addict to gamble one or two times and lose all your fucking money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and lose everything.
Yeah, but no, most people you're not gambling everything all at once. So like you can gamble twice a year, and even if you lost your check twice a year,
you'd still be all right. Still be all right. So you are more concerned with Coke than you are with the fact that you can bet on how many people are going to die in a war on Kalshi. No, that bothers you more.
I'm more concerned with Coke than Kalshi overall, making prediction markets.
That's
now,
crazy
do I think
that's crazy to me?
Do I think and that'll be like me? Here's how I compare those two. It'd be like I don't have an issue with Coke specifically, but I would have an issue if Coke put a specific ingredient into Coke that was causing harm.
Sure.
And that's the same thing
100%.
I would say, but and we regulate
100%.
that. Hey, let's take that out. You can still make Coke, but you can't put that ingredient in there. Same thing with Kalshi. You can still make bets, but you just can't put that bet in there. And that's okay. Like why aren't they the same?
Yeah, but that's because that's not happening with Kalshi.
It's happened more with Coke. We haven't given enough time. Coke at one point, I'm sure there was a substance in Coke that we had to do that. So I
just see that highly. I see that less likely happening because you also got to realize, to your point, Coke has been around longer. 100%. Kalshi has been around longer. I have very little faith that the people in charge, the people that are standing to make more money, it's the same thing you talked about cigarettes. How tobacco, you were like, don't you think the same thing will happen with Kalshi? No, because when the tobacco push happened, when they pushed to have no more of these advertisements, we're talking about the 70s, 80s when when corporate power hadn't quite yet grabbed its grasp on politics.
Yes,
we're in the throes of it all.
Oh yeah, right now
they got all the money, they control all the policies. So for anything to change, really, I mean, look how we're trying to get so much AI regulation. We've talked about this, and like, bro, it's kind of a dead end. We got some good people fighting hard. I don't want to say it's a dead end, but it's looking grim. It's looking very, very grim. I think you have this whimsical optimism often, and I'm not saying you shouldn't, but you do have this whimsical optimism that everything's gonna work out fine. Like we're all gonna figure it out. And I'm not saying it's useful to worry. It's not useful to worry. Like, what's worrying gonna fucking do? Don't be me. Do not be me. Don't be me. It's not useful. But I also think, like, we also need to look at the reality of it. Like, it's the same people in charge. It's the same people in charge.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything to show us that they give a fuck about us and that they're going to stop anytime soon. So why do we have this confidence, or at least somewhat confidence, that like, oh yeah, the regulation's going to come for this?
And then even having the confidence in that they're going to quote unquote do the right thing, in the sense of like, oh, somebody's going to look at it and be like, the moral thing to do is to remove. I had a revelation where I feel like, we shouldn't have those type of bets on there. We're going to remove that. I think it's going to come down to a situation with a lot of things in business, in the corporate world, is that people will make a conscious decision and be like, yeah, I don't think that's good. Someone will remove it, and then the other people will remove it. And that's just how it kind of, I think there is a level of, it ain't all doom and gloom when we think about regulations and people doing the right thing for society overall. Outside of America, hard to see that, but I do think that
to see what outside of America,
that there are people that want to do the good for. There is a lot of people that want to do what's good for the people.
You don't think there is that outside of America?
No, I think it's more so outside of America.
I was like,
outside of America.
You
may not see that in America. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah,
right now in America, we're in a weird spot to where, like, man, this could be another episode where I feel like, since we are the youngest country, that's the most powerful country, there haven't been these established traditional footholds that you would have like in the Chinese dynasties or Eastern Europe, where in America we're in a situation right now where everything is on capitalism and everything is up for grabs, and we've gotten to where it's almost a totalitarian aspect, or this plutocracy where like a few people are going to own everything, and we set that up for us. So that's a whole nother topic we could talk about. But when it comes to like this, being able to like have these prediction markets
in general too, bro, I just think like, and this is again, this is all my personal opinion. Y'all know, if y'all don't know, if you're listening, I'm a cynic. I'm obviously the cynic here, and the pessimist. But it's also just fucking annoying, bro, when I be talking to like some of my boys, bro, when I'm out at the bar for whatever, motherfuckers is, I gotta put in this bet. I'm like, bro, can you just chill out and just fucking watch the game? You've never done that in front of me.
Not, but I will. I'm at the house. I'm putting in bets.
You always putting in bets?
Not always. No. But like, I'm just saying, like, I'll be out, and it makes the game more exciting. We are inundated with so many games now. We can see every single game.
Yeah.
If it's gonna be on the TV, it does make me like turn the TV on and watch it. Like, I want to watch the game now.
That's it?
Yeah, it makes the game exciting.
Because you watching shit that you would normally not even watch. Like games that you would normally not even watch.
Or even games that I maybe even games that like I would watch the NFL regardless. But if I got a bet on a game, it makes it even that much more interesting. If I had fantasy, if I have a player playing, it makes it that much more interesting. Much more involved.
It's so predictable now. Like, it's so predictable. Like, if I am out, I don't know what I mean. Like, for example, I was at the Patriots, one of the Patriots playoff games at BD Riley's, which is New England Patriots bar. And I just went to go watch it. I don't ever fucking bet. And that shit was packed. I got there early. I locked on a table. And I was just by myself. And finally, towards the end, people weren't finding tables. And so I was like, all right, I'm not going to hold it. I got no one else coming. Because you were supposed to come that day, and you didn't, because you a flake. I'm just kidding. I don't think he told me he was gonna come.
Probably market went on.
Yeah. But anyways, these two dudes were like looking for a table. I was like, y'all can sit here, and I'm talking to them, just a couple New England dudes, and it was like so predictable. Like, a lot of us have just turned into such predictable fucking ogres and Neanderthals, and of course they have it. Oh, I got this bet over here, blah blah blah, and I'm just like, why are we so fucking predictable? Like, it's so fucking annoying sometimes. Like
back in the day when you had the baseball cards, and we would get together and exchange cards. Like, it's just what men are gonna.
Yeah, but like, man, every dude I talk to, like, for a commonality. They fucking love that fucking sports betting shit, bro.
Hell
to me, I just
something to relate to.
I'm just like,
oh, watch
Jimmy, why can't we just have?
But then it also like,
we're here at the game watching the game. We can just talk about it.
But it's also more so like, we always like growing up being like, oh, I know more about sports than you. You know more sports about me. Like, I can bet this. I know this. I know this. So now we have a way to almost keep track of, do you really know sports?
Yeah.
Pull up let's see your bets then. Like, oh, you don't know sports like that. So I think that's what also is an aspect of it, is like, it's just another way for us to kind of connect. And connect. Yeah, like, as like like two people who don't know each other can be like
betting. You don't need an app for that.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to go out. You don't need an establishment to go out and buy alcohol from in a big space with other people
but
to
come
start
on now. That's not what we're talking
people.
about. You know that you're trying to compare. Every time I do this, you go, oh, but then there's like, dude, what are we talking about?
What
yeah,
I'm saying,
we do.
What is the issue?
Of course, we need spaces to meet people and blah blah. What you mean? You got to have common spaces.
But it's also not a.
Like, to your point, we already have a common space. We're here. There's beers. That's common enough to have a conversation. Now you gotta pull. Now you gotta pull the fucking thing.
You don't follow TikTok. You see how hard it is to go approach a person and these day and age, you can't just go up and approach people.
I can approach a homie though. The homie's good. The girls though, y'all scare me.
Exactly. But you feel better approaching girls when you got your homies. You got to build
a problem before. That wasn't a problem before.
Well, it's always been sports.
We're creating problems. We're creating solutions for problems that we created out of nowhere.
Well, let me ask you this: you go out to the bar, you going to watch the Celtics game.
Talk Celtics sports all day for sure.
You see a guy. You go out to watch the Celtics game in Austin. It's not. It's not Boston. But even if you didn't. But even if you just had your jersey on, went out and went to a Celtics bar, but you see another person with a Celtics jersey on, and y'all both are watching the Celtics game, more than likely y'all gonna strike up a conversation.
Sure.
Well, it wasn't because, like, so what's the difference between that and then if we both are betting, like, damn, I need SGA to get 15 points, and he's like, oh, you got him on that as well?
It just goes back to why it just goes back to my cynicism with betting and gambling. I think, and not only that, I just think it's stupid. I think it's fucking damaging. I think it's damaging that I have to put money on something to be interested in it.
No, you don't have to, but you can.
Most people, it's not about can. You even said it. You were like, for me to be interested in these certain games,
it makes me more. I'm going to watch the game anyways, but if I got money on the game, I'm going to be paying more attention to the game.
Again, I think
and I'm willing to watch through a blowout.
Again, that's my take. I think it's ridiculous and I think it's harmful. I don't think it's conducive at all. I don't think it's helpful.
No.
How is it helpful? What is it helping?
What is it harming?
Your attention?
What is it harming?
What is it harming? Your wallet? Your money?
No, what if I win?
You know what I mean? You know,
what if I win?
And you have these dopamine spikes, and then you got to go do something more extreme later. Then you got to go do this.
I got to do more extreme. I can do the same thing and just win again next week.
Yeah, just win again. See this mentality?
Win again next week.
Win again.
It's the same thing. In sales, hell, I got to go win again this week. Win again this week. Win again this week.
I just think we do have a major problem. Again. This is me being a cynic. I'm a cynic.
I think there will be. There are going to be issues from this. This is going to be. There will be issues from this, but I do think it'll settle out. It'll level out. It become just like alcohol. It become like cigarettes. Like, do you feel like those are issues in America?
Yeah, of course they are.
So should we ban them?
I didn't say we. Did I say we should ban gambling and that?
No.
When did I ever say that in this episode?
Oh, so
I never said that.
I guess I think
I never said that.
So it should be allowed, but
yeah.
How do we? So how do we manage? If we're gonna allow you to do it, then how do we manage?
What do you mean? I already told you. I said I want these casinos. I want these. I would prefer these casinos and these apps to just not be advertised in your face every single fucking day. I think they need to be in the cut, in the shadows.
Okay, just
y'all know where it is. No advertisement. No.
Oh, okay.
You go find it. What it is.
Okay.
And I think it would reduce it. That's never going to happen.
But then it makes it seedy then.
No, it's not seedy.
You
think smoking cigarettes is seedy?
Hell.
We don't like cigarettes.
I ain't gonna get into what people got going on out there. I just, if somebody smokes, you do form an opinion. If she smokes, then
yeah. I mean, I guess
it's different.
And you think that's because there's a lack of advertising?
No.
There's a lack of advertising.
No, not at all. I think it's more because of the knowledge of smoking.
You know what I'm curious to know? Do we have more smokers now, or has it dropped at all since
it's
advertisements going down?
Actual smokers, I'm sure it's dropped tremendously.
But is it because of advertising, or because now we have new things like weed,
I think it
had.
I was gonna say I think it had dropped drastically from.
I see what you trying to do there. Dramatically, drastically.
Yeah, put them together. It had dropped drastically from when they implemented, the whole Surgeon General and all this stuff went through.
Yeah.
I think it's starting to tick back up with things like vaping and stuff like that. I think you see it on the climb, because I don't think you may be a vapor, but you're not a smoker.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
No,
I got you.
That's what
you don't think that something similar might happen if we stop advertising all these betting apps and all that shit? Maybe a little bit of a drop. I think a drop would be a good thing.
It's gonna drop.
I think a drop would be a good thing. I don't think it's I think it would be more good than anything.
I think it's just almost.
But I would never be here and be like, we got to outlaw.
It's almost like McDonald's to me. Like I like McDonald's exists and it's $1 billion corporation, but they don't make a whole lot of money off of her. and they advertise everywhere. And it's like
I don't be eating McDonald's.
I don't care. Like you can advertise at every Super Bowl. It ain't gonna make no difference. I don't want a Big Mac. Like I don't care. So that's why I don't really care.
Yeah,
about
but
the
it's
whole
again, to me it's different because
because
we're talking about directly just stealing your money again, not offering a product, not offering a good. You might say it's offering a service. No, it's not a direct product. You know what I mean? Like you're offering food. It's just a little seed to me. Anyways, we come up on time. We're in this conversation. Call me Derek the Cynic. Call me Derek the Angry Man about this shit. But
call me Lucky
I
Herb.
just don't see any good that comes from any of it. That's my opinion.
That boy ain't never hit on that
parlay.
parlay.
Yeah.
Drop them parlays. Drop them parlays in the comments. He ain't never hit on that parlay.
NBA Finals, bro.
Hey, put that bet on.
I got OKC, bro. Take 10. Take 10.
Give me no Spurs, man. Give me no Spurs. I like the Spurs. See, we're gonna have it on there. Put the markets on there.
All right, yo. We want to jump into this fun fact?
Let's go.
Did you go first or did I go first last time?
It don't matter.
I can't remember.
It don't matter.
I'm going to talk about some science-based shit.
Okay.
I found this so interesting about the concept of heat and temperature.
Okay.
Heat and temperature.
All right.
Do you know how heat and temperature works? Like, why do we have heat? Why do we have cold? Like, how does that even work?
I don't want to say yeah because I
What do you think?
What I think is that like heat
yeah.
and temperature are. Heat is a measure of temperature, but heat don't. What we think of heat, just here recently, let me just say this. Here recently, I kind of got an understanding of heat and cold and molecules and atoms being.
Let's go there. That's where I want to go.
Being the flow, heat, energy, being able to flow rapidly, and then being cold to a point where they're almost like not moving, stuck. So that's all I know about heat and cold.
There we go.
Very
well put it. Heat is how fast particles are moving.
Okay.
Within a certain substance.
Okay.
The faster particles are moving, the faster molecules are moving, the more heat that there are.
Yes.
So absolute zero, which you can only find in laboratories, is when all particles cease to move. They just don't move. They just literally freeze. That's what they mean, freeze. They're not moving. I think that temperature is, I'll tell you what the temperature is right now. Temperature of absolute zero is negative 273.15 degrees Celsius or negative 459.67 degrees Celsius. At this point, molecular motion ceases and system's internal energy hits minimum value.
Yep.
Space is 3 degrees above absolute zero. I'm going to put that in here, temperature of space. So, is 2.7 Kelvin or negative 454.8 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's about 5 degrees warmer in space than it is absolute zero. So that means that there's still particles moving.
Yes.
So the hotter something is,
the
faster the particles are moving, which I find absolutely fascinating. This is why, but now we also got to take into consideration the density of the matter when we're talking about heat or cold.
Yeah.
So for example,
water and stuff.
For example,
gas and solids.
I was running every Friday morning with my run club, and we do this thing called the cold plunge, where we run for 3.5 miles, then we jump into Barton Springs. Barton Springs is at 68 degrees all year round.
Yeah. Yes.
All year round.
Yep.
When I'm running in the summertime, it's 90 degrees out. When I jump in, that cold water feels cold as fuck. Badass.
Yeah.
When I'm running in the wintertime, it's 35 degrees. Cold as shit. People are like, I'm not jumping into that water.
It's warmer.
And you jump into the water, it is so fucking warm.
Yeah.
It is like a jacuzzi. But also, 68 degrees, jumping into that water feels a lot colder than me standing outside at 68 degrees.
Yes.
Because we're talking about air molecules.
Moving.
Air molecules, the density of it means that the molecules are further away from each other.
Yes.
The denser something is, the closer molecules are to each other.
Yep.
All right, so that translates into how hot or cold something might feel.
Yeah, the
so
feeling.
68 degrees in the air is a lot warmer feeling than 68 degrees in cold water.
That's cold as hell when you get in that water.
Yeah, it's cold as hell when you get in that water. And I also find this very interesting because the sun's corona, which is like the outer gas outside of the sun, is plasma. Yeah. Plasma is the fourth state of matter. There's 4 states of matter. There's gas, liquid, solid, plasma.
Oh, you just taught me something there.
Yeah.
I only know about the 3.
Yeah, plasma is an interesting one. I'm not even going to go into exactly what it is, but that's what sun's corona is. Sun's corona is plasma. That shit is between 2 and 5 million degrees Fahrenheit. That's how hot it is. For context, the sun's core, right in the middle, right in the middle where all that nuclear thermal fusion is at, fission is having all that, you think 10,000 degrees. 10,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Because it doesn't have much space to move around.
Yeah, and so even though they actually don't know why the corona is hotter, so it's not even about that. But my point is that we have the Parker Space Probe, which is the fastest man-made object ever. It's gone like 450,000 miles per hour. Has gone through the sun's corona at 2.5 million, 4 million degrees. And you think, how the hell can it handle all that? Because plasma, the molecules are so less dense. It literally says the heat density is the energy content per cubic meter. There's less energy content per cubic meter in the corona, so it doesn't feel as hot as it would at 10,000 degrees in the core of the sun, which is really compact, really thick. Which I find so fucking fascinating.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's funny because I don't know what I just seen with just talking about the whole. Somebody was going into this like the whole heat atoms movement, like what we feel is heat. Because somebody was talking about why isn't space hot.
Right.
Or if the sun's so hot, then why isn't space hot? Why don't you feel? And they were like, because there's nothing. They basically going to why
there's less molecules for you to feel to bump up
Exactly.
against your skin. So technically, you could be out there in that cold and you wouldn't really feel it like that.
Yeah. And that's what, and that's why I just popped up recently on something I was saying. So fascinating. Mine is completely different. We're going back to the gambling.
Hey, yes.
And we're going to tell you about a little guy named Kerry Packer. Kerry Packer is a billionaire from Australia. And he went on what was considered one of the legendary runs in Vegas. He's known for this, but he went on what's considered to be the largest craps winning, so shooting dice, in a run in Vegas. And it happened over the course of several days. And he was betting anywhere from $200,000 to $400,000 per shot. Do you know how? We want to guess how much he won?
$55 million.
Oh, he was actually over $30 million over the course of several days.
Is that unheard of?
That's the highest known craps winnings in U.S. history.
But he's a billionaire, so that don't mean shit for him.
It don't matter. I mean,
he could have lost 30 like MC Hammer,
$6.5 billion. That's what his net worth is, and he won $30 million.
Damn, that's crazy.
$30 million, bro.
See, folks, gambling can help you guys win. Go
exactly.
gamble.
If you're a billionaire, you can get even more money.
Fuck out of here with that bullshit. There you go. But that's an interesting
Gamble on. Shoot them parlays into the comments, though, please.
Please don't bet on dying children in wars.
And ladies should be okay, fine, but you
Please
can bet on
that.
now. Ladies can be involved, and you can bet on stuff like which Bravo cast member is going to get involved in a scandal.
Why
next.
not got to be a lady thing? Why can't that
I'm
be a
just
guy
saying
thing?
it gives ladies opportunity to come
this
into
is
the
an equal opportunity
yes.
app. Is what you're saying.
See,
Don't support it. Don't support an app.
anything.
Don't support an app that allows you to bet on children dying or war.
No,
That's
bet
my
on
point.
Bravo.
Don't fucking support
Bet on
it.
Bravo.
Don't support the app.
Bet on
It's
Bravo.
not even about what
Will
they can bet
ASAP
on.
Rocky and
Don't
Rihanna
ever
get
support-
divorced?
Don't ever support an app that does that.
Who had the
my
best
thing
dress
right
at the
there.
Met Gala?
Fuck the Met Gala. Fuck them all too.
Yeah, I'm going. Y'all invite me. Send me that invite next year. I'm out there. AI Herb, Authentic Derek.
Cynic Derek.
Boy over here.
All right, Joe. Appreciate it, Herb. Good luck, Joe.
You did it.
Peace.
Peace.